Hello all, it's Samantha here of Samantha Sutherland Art and Books, and welcome to another instalment of Poetry Thursday. This week is an interesting week because obviously it is Christmas week. Christmas would have been yesterday. However, the reason why I paused then is because I'm recording this a couple of days in advance. So I'm actually recording this on the eve of Christmas Eve. And I hope this video reaches you well. I hope you've had a lovely day, however you chose to celebrate it, whether you chose to or not, whatever you decided or whatever you did on the day. I hope you had a good day regardless of whatever happened, and I hope you had a lovely time, whether it was with family and friends, or if you went out somewhere for a walk or something, or you spent it with your pets, or I don't know, however you wanted to spend the day. If you had a good Christmas, I'm happy, and Merry Christmas anyway. I'm going to stop rambling now. And I've been thinking a lot about today's poetry, today's poet, and this is kind of a continuation of Ted Hughes, because if you remember in my last week's Poetry Thursday, I was watching a Q&A talk about Ted Hughes in I think it was a bookshop for, I think it was the London Book Society or something like that, and it was hosted by Alice Oswald, the poet, and she's also a writer as well. And I was really intrigued by this woman because I'd never even heard of her until I accidentally found the Ted Hughes chat on YouTube, which it took me 2 days to watch it because it was like an hour and something, and obviously I got distracted along the way and I had other stuff to do. And last week, obviously my daughter finished for Christmas for 2 weeks, so I decided that I was going to purchase her book of poems, and I figured I'll start with the very first one because I might not even like her poetry, or I might do. I just wanted to see how it kind of would start and then continue on. So I'm definitely interested in getting her second book, which is Dart. I basically on the Friday ordered this, which is The Thing in the Gap-Stone Stile by Alice Oswald. So this is the book that I'm going to be reading from today, and I have picked a few poems because I am in love with her poetry. Her poetry is just, it's beautiful and very descriptive, and you'll see when I read it. So who is Alice Oswald? Now I've written a few notes about her, like I did with Ted Hughes, and I already knew a little bit about Christina Rossetti. So get my little notebook, which I've repurposed from something else. So Alice Oswald was born in Reading in 1966 on the 31st of August, which actually, funny enough, is my wedding anniversary. She's married to Peter Oswald, who is a playwright. She lives in Devon with her husband and her 3 children. She's a nature and religion poet, from what I have deduced online from kind of Googling who she was, because like I said, I'd never heard of her. And she has 11 collections of poetry, books, etc. to her name. So this is the very first one. Like I said, this was published in 1996. And she holds many honours and awards, including an Eric Gregory Award, an Arts Foundation Award for Poetry, and a Forward Prize for Best Single Poem, and also a Ted Hughes Award. And in 2019, she became the first woman to be appointed as Oxford University Professor of Poetry, which is a 4-year tenure, which is pretty cool. So I have chosen, shall we say 2 for now at least. Definitely have my eye on 3 poems that I have been really enjoying. And I've only just started reading this, and I think I'm almost finished with it because the poems are so, I'd say, Moorish. You read one and then you want to read another and another, and you just kind of binge them. That's what I've been doing with this. I came home this afternoon about 1 o'clock because we had to go do a little bit of extra shopping, and it was waiting for me in my letterbox. And yeah, I've already read quite a handful of poems from this particular book, and so I would like to read you a selection of my favourites. So the first one is the very first one of the actual book, and it's called Pruning in Frost. Last night, without a sound, a ghost of a world lay down on a world, trees like dream wrecks, corolled with increments of frost. Found crevices and wound, the clock spring cobwebs. All life's ribbon frozen mid-fling. Oh, I am stone thumbs, feet of glass. Work knocks in me the winter's nail. I can imagine pain, turned heron, could fly off slowly in a creak of wings. And I'd be staring like one of those cold holly granite kings, getting carved into this effigy of orchard. The next poem that I would like to read is another one that I really, really like, and one that I forgot to actually put a little bit of a tab on. It's the first one that I opened up the book to, actually, and I really liked this poem. As soon as I read it, I thought, I like this poet. So this is Woman in a Mustard Field. From love to light, my element was altered when I fled out of your house to meet the space that blows about my head. The sun was rude and sensible. The rivers ran for hours, and whoops, I found a mustard field exploding into flowers. And I slowly came to sense again the thousand forms that move all summer through a living world that grows without your love. I just really liked that poem. And the final one is the poem that is taken the title of the book from, which is The Thing in the Gap-Stone Stile. I took the giant's walk on top of world, peak striding each step a viaduct. I dropped hankies, cut from a cloth of hills, and beat gold under fields for the sun to pick out a patch. I never absolutely told the curl-horned cows to line up their gaze, but it happened, so I let it be. And annual meadow grass, quite of her own accord, between the dry stones spread out emerald. I was delighted by her initiative and praised the dry stone for being contrary. What I did do, I am a gap, will lean these elbows on a wall and sat on my honkers pervading the boulders. My pose became the pass across two kingdoms, before, behind, antiphonal, my cavity the chord. And I certainly intended anyone to be almost abstracted on a gap-stone between fields. So that one was The Thing in the Gap-Stone Stile, which is the name of the book. And so that is my poetry reading for Poetry Thursday. I hope you enjoyed that. I really enjoyed today's Poetry Thursday. And she's definitely a poet I want more books of. In fact, I've been on Goodreads and I've literally done a want to read on, I think, probably about 6 or 7 of her books. And I found one on Amazon I'm interested in as well, which apparently has some beautiful etching illustrations in it from an artist. So I'm going to have to find that book. I want to say thank you as well, because reading out loud is something that I've struggled with for a very long time. Being dyslexic, I'm not very confident at reading out loud, and I hope that I feel like I am improving when I do read out loud, and it's been a lot of fun and I've been enjoying it very, very much. I hope you enjoyed this one, and who am I going to choose for next week? I don't know. And I wonder if one day we might see Alice Oswald as Poet Laureate. That would be quite nice, wouldn't it? I mean, I think she's an amazing poet, and obviously that last poem is obviously about going for walks in the outside and the kind of the landscape that she was talking about how the Cloth Cut from the Hills, obviously, to me, she seems to be talking about a place where cloth was made in abundance, somewhere like Burnley or Blackburn or Colne or even Saltaire, places like that that would make cloth many years ago, which sadly they don't anymore. Anyway, I'm going to get going because I've taken up a lot of your time as it is. So thank you very much for spending this bit of time with me. I hope you've enjoyed this this Poetry Thursday, and I will see you next week for a reading of another poet, although I'm not quite sure who it's going to be. I don't always know until the day before, or in this case, the day of, because like I said, literally I ordered this last week and it came through the letterbox this afternoon, and I've been reading it ever since, and I have been thoroughly enjoying this book. So until then, I will see you later, and happy reading, happy Poetry Thursday. Stay warm, stay cozy, and enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you next week. Thank you very much. Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye.